woman that's sex, so let them feel. Touch my private.
I had on some Speedos, and I was probably the first rapper to like spare my legs and take a picture of my underwear.
It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. As y'all know, it's right down there. It's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible, with as many icons of the game as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one, and hit us on that Cash App at Unique Access ENT if you're so inclined. Now today for Cover Story, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by the mighty, incredible, phenomenal Kool Keith. How are you doing today, sir?
How you doing? What's good? I'm here.
Yeah.
Just being myself, telling you the truth. I'm only here to bring you the truth.
Well, that's what Kool Keith does. So
when I'm on, I'm only here to tell you the truth because when a lot of people don't ever get the truth, so I tell you the truth.
And with the truth, Kool Keith has wanted to talk about the Sex Style album cover. Came out in 1997, Funky Ass Records. So Keith, for this album, before we get into the particulars of what's going on in the cover, what was your idea before you even did the album cover?
When I was working on that album, I had a lot of ideas. Even when I was working with Kurt, I had a lot of ideas ahead of me and everything. Just me starting out with the singles and stuff when we was doing the album, the whole collage of Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood when I was out there, the album was a transition of me moving to California. And it was supposed to be my whole, lifestyle, pictures, photography, the girls, Sunset Boulevard. It was like a whole picture. And I was totally into the album, Kurt did the production, but as far as the pictorial part of it, like like you said, the visionary part, Kurt was a little scared, but everybody was scared, really. I mean, I came up with the ideas with the logo, the funky ass logo, and putting the girl on the label and the pictures around the album cover. I did the album cover. I collaged it. And, I took it in my kitchen and then we made it, we kind of blended sunset in the nighttime and the blue sky of LA, that purple look of sunset and the sun and the pink. And we just said, California is colorful when you ride up sunset, that look with the palm trees. So I was with the whole situation, and a lot of people didn't want to be with it in the beginning. And then when it came out, it became one of the best covers. It was like voted as one of the best independent covers ever thought of, for an album cover. I was on the cover with Spontaneous Ecstasy and me. I had on some Speedos, and I was probably the first rapper to like just bare my legs and take a picture of my underwear, and then I put the pictures on the back was the real pictures that I normally take at home regular, because I was more of a guy that just liked to have fun with a camera. I had 20 cameras. I bought Nikons, Minotus, Canon. So it was like a part of my life. The record was more like my life as my off life from rapping was like photography and photos. And I had, when girls used to come to my house, I used to have cutout pictures of Blacktail all on my wall. And, I cut the pictures out and make an art, and then I used to make people these pictures that look like they're 3D coming off the page of, I take a centerfold and then a girl picture, and I put like real material on it, real hair sprinkles, and I make the picture look like it's coming off the paper, and everybody used to like the picture. I used to frame it, but I used to make different ones and give them to people. That was a part of my art, In California, that was my art, after the studio, it'd be about my pictures and art and stuff, or my girls and stuff come over, take pictures. And I was a picture person.
And when and how did you develop your love for taking pictures?
I don't know. I always wanted to do my own photography because, you know, sometimes people don't have the direction that you see and stuff like that, stylists, whatever, you know. In that department, even my clothes, I mean, I dressed myself for years and years of dressing myself and picking out my own clothes, picking out fashion for the girls. And, you know, a lot of the stuff, the videos you see was me putting the clothes together for the girls. You know, I had a vision of my music with the girls for my records and the videos. So I just wanted to make my regular life blend into my music life. It was like kind of cool because I never did that before. I always made music and stuff. People thought I was just the person that just make records and so, or, you know, a rapper on a track with somebody. But I had this time when I went to California, I put my whole visionary into music. Because when I was in New York, I was collecting Black Tail magazine, Big Butt, you know, all the magazines that was hot way before these new magazines that ever came out. Now these modern magazines, and the girls used to, you know, they used to show more too, and they were, you know, as far now, it's kind of commercial. You know, you'll buy a magazine now, the girl got the outfit on like 5 pages, but you don't see nothing.
Yeah, it was a different world back then.
Yeah, it was a little more. You get the story and a little interview, and then one page gets, you know, gets more and better every page. But now it's, you know, 7 pages is the girl's still fully dressed. You know,
Not the same.
no, not too much of my cup of tea.
Now, for you, what made you want to or comfortable or decide to use the Speedo Shot? Because that is very odd, especially for rap.
It just matched with I don't know. I just said I'm gonna do something different. I just wanted to do something wild. You know, I had to figure that I'd do something different because it was cool. No, I mean, all the album covers that looked the same. Everybody wanted to be, you know, hardcore gangster. Everybody wanted to be whatever, you know, African. Everybody wanted to be all these different kinds of images. I just said, let me try something wild. So I was like supposed to be standing on Sunset, you know, just me, like a guy on Sunset, and with no pimp figure, nothing like that. It was just me on Sunset, like a freaked out guy on Sunset, but not in a bad way, but like pictures and just, you know, just a real confident album cover for me to just get on.
And then with the Kurt being nervous, what about, since TR Love worked on the album as well, what about him when he saw it?
Yeah, I picked the track that Trevor did. I flew him out to do Make Up Your Mind. It was pretty cool because he had a track at the house that he had, and I liked it. I told him I like that song, save it. I'm gonna use it for my album, and which I did. I had him to come out and do the stuff. So he came out and did the record, and it was good. It fit in well with what Kurt was doing. It was a little change of the production and sound, and I went along with it. And the album came out good, and you know, it was the album that Capitol Records had supposed to drop, but you know, they gave it back to me, and then, you know, the album was a good album for me because that was my transition to California and me just moving to Los Angeles for the first time.
Right. And then now when you look back and you think of it, what do you think is the legacy of the Sex Style cover?
The legacy of the Sex Style cover is just everlasting. The time, you know, it's very, you know, it's real art. You know, it should be a big picture painted on the side of a big wall or a building somewhere. I mean, you know, it was just, you know, there was art put together, and it was just me. You know, I collaged the album just from each picture is just from the house, and then you know, everything is placed on top. I remember, I forgot who I got to do the artwork, and it was Jim, but it was all my artwork. I just said, put this as the album cover, you know, because people were just programmed to get these real pictures from, you know, people was programmed to get these real pictures from album covers and professional photographers. You know, I was just the freelance, you know, it was kind of gritty. You know, I was not the photographer that always need the touch up pictures and stuff. Those were raw pictures, People were like, oh, those pictures are not, they didn't go through, editing and cleaned up. They're not cleaned up, they're not edited. So it was just like, yo, this is what I want. I wanted this raw album cover. Like, I want to use my photos and I want my, all my photos to be up there. I don't care if they're not clean, they're not going through all this, edit stuff that they got in software. I just want a straight raw album cover. And that's what happened. That's what I did because it matched the music.
It definitely did. All right, well, there it is. Sex Style. Kool Keith, thanks for coming through the cover story, man.
Of course.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the street. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.